Hey, Trigger Happy John coming at you with another Watchers of Realm video. If you're watching this video, did you watch my video yesterday? We're back at it again. This is going to be the second day in a row now for an upload. It's probably going to be it for a minute because I'm about to go on the road for work. Going to go to old Canada for some work here. Unfortunately, I don't have any of my equipment there, and I don't like to make videos on the road because the audio sounds horrendous. It's a problem. But anyways, in this video, what we're going to talk about is I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do a couple of quick runs on my account. I'm going to do so I don't have the best guild boss team out there. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't have the best team of anything out there, but what I want to showcase for you is we're going to do a gear raid 1 here. I'm going to showcase you the team that I currently have, the strategy that I'm utilizing, show you the damage output that they're doing with some of the stats. The reason why I'm doing this is because I don't have the best in slot team for this particular stage. However, I've noticed that depending on what gear I put on them, how I slot things around and how I play it, it does seem to work out okay for me. And at the end of the day, I know a lot of people aren't necessarily looking for hey, this is exactly what I have to do, but having a good representation of, hey, what does work, what does not work is huge. It's massive, right? So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cover that. We're gonna show that there. We're also gonna go ahead and probably move over and do the same thing for stage 17 here, because this one, I basically beat this one by like the skin of my teeth. A couple of the strategies I use for it, how to really progress it. And we'll also just talk in general, like overall, like why am I using the particular champions that I've been utilizing in this video. And that way you guys just have a little bit more well-rounded knowledge on, hey, these types of compositions work. All right, so let's go ahead and let's just dive right into it. We're gonna go ahead and talk over this while this is running. So we're gonna go right into gear raid 1 here. This one has been the one I just did some progression on. I almost can do 18. I need just a little bit more damage to be able to work out for me. 17 isn't bad. It really isn't bad at the end of the day. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna do it on auto and kind of talk over what we're seeing, what I'm doing, and what I really noticed, right? And then at the end of it, we're gonna really analyze these stats and damage that I do, as well as the placement that I'm performing when I'm doing this. So as you see here, we start off with Valkyrie and Arrogance, both of them down there. Why? Because one, Valkyrie's AoE, she's fighter, right? Long range. Arrogance just does massive damage, especially with his burns. As you can see up here, the next one that we played was Kira. Now, the reason why we did that, or Krya, I think is how you pronounce it, is because she does a massive amount of AoE type damage and whatnot. As you see here, Hetza is also my second AoE damage dealer that we place. And also notice that I'm placing them as far away from the edges as possible. Reason being, when the main boss comes in here, what happens is they die quickly and you have to use a healer. Now, because this is all AoE damage, we're stacking them all up and we're getting them cleared, and this is going pretty quickly, right? Things to note here is, one, Shamir is doing a lot of work for me with slowing them down. So what he's doing is he's slowing them down and immobilizing them on this wall. So that is a very key mechanic that I've utilized so far to progress this. Now, this may not be guaranteed. This isn't a fail-safe plan for everyone else out there. But by using him to do this, what that allows me to do is it buys me a little time. So now my other AoE damage dealers, even though I don't have the best gear, I bought time. So we've got a champion that can do what Shamir does and buy you time at the wall to allow your AoE damage dealers just to do massive amounts of damage, right? Like there's a lot of mages out there that are epics that'll work well for this, or a lot of AoE type damage dealers. Now, when we look at the stats here, the two MVPs of this fight are always Valkyrie and Kira, or Krya. Man, I'm gonna mispronounce her name all day. I apologize right now. Next we have as Arrogance, and then Hetza. Now, these four you saw were like the main four that went down as soon as the battle started. The reason being is because I know they will do the damage. I have run this back without having Arrogance in there, without having Valkyrie in there, placing these two, and then placing like Shamir and Shin, and getting the other two in there. It never equals as fast as damage, and never equals out to as much damage dealt. Actually, it's just kind of, it gets shared the love a little bit more, and I'm noticing that I get a much better result utilizing these four as my primary. And the best thing to note with this is the synergy. So you have AoE, semi AoE, and then mass damage, right? with an AoE ulti. So the thing to note with that though is the simple fact that because of the way their mechanics are, the way they work, they all can synergize well and really do a crap load of damage at that wall, and that's what's really helping me progress this. Now, is this a foolproof methodology? Absolutely not. We're not going to go ahead and we're going to try to pretend that it is. For my particular team, for my gear that I currently have, and I will show that in a minute, this works very, very well. It was very fast. You saw that, and I've literally got like 2 or 3 pieces of gear to upgrade, and I'll be able to do stage 18 almost no problem. Like I'm like literally like I need 20 more seconds of fight, and then I would clear stage 18, and then I'd get that boost from clearing it, and it would definitely be easy peasy, and I'd be able to grind it up, get some better ones here, and then start moving into 19. All right, next let's move on to gear raid 2. So what we're going to talk about with gear raid 2 is the simple fact that I realized something, and I'm going to share it with you guys. I may be wrong, I may be right, but this seems to be what's helping for me. I'm bringing in 3 healers in this composition. I'm bringing in 3 healers. I'm bringing in steady champions that can kind of sustain a little bit. As you can see here, we got healer coming in. We got the blocker. We got the arrogance doing the long clear and long damage here. We're stacking him on this side because the monster's going to come over here and pivot left, and I want him to get all the burn damage from arrogance. And then right here, you can see I have all 3 healers going. I get them down pretty quick and easy, very, very quickly. And that keeps them healed up. And I'm really relying a lot on King Har's shield mechanic, as well as honestly, Vortex is amazing for shields, and Hollow is God's here for healing. Once you get her stats up there, like get her attack stats up there, she does a lot of really, really, really good healing for you. But as you can see here, it makes it through the final wave, and because I have all 3 healers, no problem. And then I actually I remove these guys because it's not needed, and then I place has it over here, and that's my strategy. Is essentially like I know once I've got this done and we're ready for the final boss, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna remove them here, free up the slots because I'm already gonna have the energy cost down here, and place them. And that is a strategy that seems to work very, very well for me. If we look at the stats here, you can see arrogance is the main damage dealer here. That's why we keep him on that left side. You know, Hex does do a lot of damage for us. Ziltus does as well. King Har's, they're not there to do damage, right? That's not their goal. That's not their niche. HP healed, you can see obviously Vortex is just killing it with the HP healing here, and then Hollow's not too far behind, but really we're playing Vortex a lot sooner than we are Hollow, so that's why it's that staggered, right? And I believe my Vortex is a faster attack speed. So that's what we're doing for raid 1, raid tier 2. Raid tier 3, I'm gonna get this a little better. I'm gonna try to push this tonight, get this up here. Right now I got a couple of ideas with new champions that I haven't tested out that I want to test out, and I really wanted to record this video since I'm trying to get better and get in the routine. But what I'm really trying to do is I'm really excited because I got Crya now. I want to try to finish stage 8 here, get all 3 mages deployed, and see if I can't take this one out. I think it'd be interesting if I can beat stage 8 here. It'd be awesome if I could at my level. But yeah, that's where that one's at currently. Now I do want to go ahead and I want to run my guild boss, and I want to talk about this because I made amateur hour mistakes. Okay, amateur hour mistakes. So first things first, Nightmare 2, Nightmare 3. I should really, honestly, with my account, I should be doing Nightmare 3 and Nightmare 4. That's where I should be, or 2 and a Nightmare 3 and getting the 20k. I'm not there yet, but I'm learning, right? I'm doing better. I'm getting better at the damage that I'm doing. Guild rankings here right now, I haven't done any of mine currently. Let's go ahead and we're just gonna fire it up here. And I wanna show a couple of things that I've noticed that I was making the mistake of, that maybe it'll help you guys not make the same mistake, or maybe it'll help your team compositions. For example, I was stacking all fighters in here thinking that they were doing a massive amount of damage. And really, you don't want the blockers and the non-damage dealers, right? Like you want god tier damage dealers. You want people that are going to survive. When he does his AoE clear and chomp here and his ground shake and does a bunch of damage to you guys, you want everyone to survive here. So the only way to do that is you're going to have to stack your healers, right? Stack 2 healers, even bring in a 3rd healer if you really need to. I was bringing in 3 until I finally got the HP raised enough, a little bit higher of a ceiling, and then it seems to work out well for me. But as you can see here, we're keeping everyone pretty much healthy here. Arrogance doing a crap ton of damage. Hex is just destroying it over there. He's been proccing his ultimate constantly with attack speed. Having the single target fast, single target nuking like damage is definitely god tier and game changing when trying to do this. And once you get Wrath built correctly, like where's my boy Wrath? He's up here, right? He's in the lead up right above Zilito here. Yeah, so he is self-sustaining himself really well, doing a crap ton of damage. I think Ivy League Gaming has already done a video dedicated to just Wrath himself and just how god tier he is. But I want to show at the end of this just the overall damage that's done and the champion composition of the damage that was done. Now, this was once again not relative to a best in slot run, 3K. I've had it anywhere between 3K to like 4,700 easily, but I'm constantly getting the last chest, and that's the notable thing here. When we look at stats here, arrogance is huge, 6 mil. That's burn damage, right? Hex is at 4.8 damage. Massive. Now I think we're losing out a little bit on Zillitu because I have 2 burners here. I think she's missing out a little bit on that. I think I need to probably swap her out for someone else, and it's just I don't know who at the moment. Volka's doing a little bit of damage. Wrath is still doing, he's with the top 3. Now my builds are not god tier, guys, so don't take this and go, oh man, these champions suck, or oh, this damage is horrendous. What I'm trying to show you is that with mediocre gear, with not the best in slot builds, with the guy who gets to grind, a few hours a day and blah, 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 blah. This is where he's at. Like, this is where the damage you're going to see. Like, for example, when we look at my arrogance here, almost 100% crit rate, really need to get that up there. But I wanted to sacrifice a little bit of crit rate to get that crit damage, to make it do all the damage he can. Rage regen's huge, right? And as much attack as possible. So I think I actually have him geared out with crit rate, attack bonus, crit damage, yeah. And they're all 12s. Notice that I don't really roll a whole lot of this gear to 16. I just by habit don't do this. I know if I were to do that, it would help me progress a little bit faster. But I also know that like trying to get all the gold that you need is very hard. It's not easy, right? It's not easy at all. Also, I do want to show Krya. So you saw the damage she did on the first one, on raid 1. Now this is like no crit damage, a little bit of crit rate here. Gear is not perfect. Crit rate, attack speed, attack damage. Attack speed kind of really is helpful for her, especially because she's AoE. And I'm just gonna attack percent here, but nothing major. Notice the stats here. These aren't like, oh god tier stats, right? Like they're okay. But they could definitely be significantly better here in general. Like, crit rate here, the crit damage is meh. Should really be a lot higher, and she could do a crap ton harder. But with her current stats and gear that I have equipped, I'm able to do work still. Like, I'm not like just sitting by going, oh crap, I'm not gonna get anything done here, right? I'm still doing damage. How do I pronounce this? Haset? Yeah, I always mess up her name. She's been really pivotal in my account. I put her in the insight because I want to get crit rate going on here. I want to get her close to that. I'm going to try to swap out some of these as I can to get crit damage up. I really hate having these little basic ones here, but I think I'm doing that because I want the crit rate here. But I'm probably just going to swap this out for another one that's a little bit better, honestly. Probably redo a little bit of her gear. But in her current state, she's doing a crap ton of damage for you. Like, once again, not even 20k HP, 7k attack. That's about average what I'm shooting for here nowadays. Crit rate's almost there, 4 away from 100. Crit damage is a little bit better within plus 20%, but really this should be like 220, 230, 240 even to really make a big difference. And overall in general, we are where we've landed at this point, right? It's not anything spectacular, but it's enough to make difference, enough to do some damage. I definitely recommend that everyone kind of figure out, okay, what compositions seem to work well on the different avenues and kind of pick it, right? Like say, hey, you know what? I really want to go in here and the gear that I want to be getting currently, like what I need on my account right this second is I need insight gear and I need like insight gear. And then I really need some sustain with like my healer and I need the SPS random, like I need this, right? So then focus on that area. Focus the team around that. Get that one solid. And then move on from there. That was one thing that I wasn't doing. I was trying to make everyone too well-rounded, not really thinking, okay, I'm going to specialize characters into this location for this particular build and guide. And I've kind of got away from that a little bit. And that seemed to actually be more counterintuitive. Like I was wasting more resources. I was upgrading gear that was just immediately getting swapped out. I was testing things that just didn't make any sense. But now that I kind of prioritized and noticed, like, okay, strategies, this one works well, this one works well, and trying to utilize them seems to work very, very well for my account and general progression. Now, I'm sure a lot of you out there are a lot further than I am, so I do apologize if you know, if you are and this video is useless for you. But some of you guys out there are just getting going, or you're trying to make that next progression step. And definitely understanding the synergy, understanding team compositions, like what it takes to build a team to beat a certain aspect of the game, and prioritizing that is huge. So definitely make sure you do that. Also, tide is massive. Make sure you're doing your tide. Make sure you're doing your tide talents. Don't be me. I messed up here. Started doing all these here. Really, I should have done these ones first because they're the biggest damage dealing ones, biggest change to your damage that you're going to be doing. So I should have been doing them instead. I messed that up, didn't realize it until it was too late. So we're kind of stuck here at 112. I got to do one more upgrade. I think I need to get I need this one to get to like 4, and I can probably move to like 112, 113 and move up a little bit more. But yeah, overall in general, making great solid progress on the account. The new champions have been great. I can't wait to test out all of them, get them all built, and hopefully do some showcases on them. So that's gonna do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Did make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.